You're welcome back, and you're still with the press on KAFTAN television, reaching you live from our studios in Abuja. Well, we have to start by sincerely apologizing because the guest we earlier on expected is unfortunately not able to make it to the program today, but the press will still continue with all that it entails. Well, right now I'll be asking Mercy because there was something you spoke about prophetically last week. Here it is, a headline today. Prophetess Mercy.
Yes.
She said categorically, I remember, she said, look, she doesn't want to see a situation whereby in the next couple of years to come, Nigerians are going to be sold or will have to be sold to pay off our debt overhang. And that has made the headlines today on the Nigerian Tribune.
A caller called in and said, rather a viewer called in and said, it might get to a time where Nigerians will be asked to do contribution.
Yes, that's true.
To pay.
A caller even said yes. Even said they'll soon deduct from our bank accounts and all that. And by the way, we're expecting your calls. Call in and let us know your opinion on any of the headlines that you feel strongly about. Anyway, let's take this headline. Nigerian Tribune again. It says Nigeria's 134.3 trillion debt overhang. Let me just go to the rider. It says, future income of Nigerians being used to service debts. Prophetic caller, you said it too. They may take 25 years to double size of economy at current growth rate. Prophetic Mercy said it too. So, let's hope they don't start selling us. We beg, like she says, God, we beg God.
God, I beg you.
Let that not be the issue.
Well, we said this last week, and it's not funny we get to repeat it again this week, but this is the reality staring at us. Okay, I had a guest on Spotlight with Mercy, one of our evening program, and where I was asking, I guess, which of the areas can we can we actually say we are feeling the impact of these monies that are being borrowed? It's not in the health sector, not even in education, agriculture, zero, security, road. So where exactly has all the money gone to? Where has it been going into? And
with more coming going to be borrowed.
We literally feel nothing.
With more even going to be borrowed.
Am I the only one who is feeling that way? Because assuming there is a sector that is doing very well, look at our medical experts have to live are all living Nigerians in search of a greener pasture. So
sector by sector,
exactly.
doctors, nurses, health technologists.
Everybody is just running out of the country because they are in need and in search of greener pasture. That is to tell you that our health sector is doing very badly. Now we can't even boast of agriculture because we don't know on what average is the food insecurity. So all this money that is being borrowed, my question exactly is, where are they going into? Because we are not feeling the impact, except I'm the only one who is not feeling it.
The question is hanging. Where is this money going? What is the money being used for? Why so much debt and debt overhang? So anyway, we expect you to call in and let us know how you feel about the issue, because like you said, we talked about it last week, and sadly enough, it has made front page headline again this week to show you that it's a really worrisome issue.
It is. It's not funny. It's just the reality staring at us, even though we tend to laugh over it and make joke out of it. But this is a sad reality staring at us in the eye, and it begs for, there are a lot of questions around it that begs for answer. And we just hope we get out of this, because who knows? Who knows? Well, let me not say what's in my mind. Let's move on to other headlines.
Okay, let's look about the issue of states beginning the payment of minimum wage. I'll just quickly give you some idea of what, because the minimum wage was pegged at 70,000 naira. So these states, Adamawa, Anambra, Jigawa, Borno, Edo, Kwara, I think up to Abia just hung on to the 70,000. We have a state like Gombe added 1,071.
Okay.
We have Kogi added 2,072,000. We have Ondo added 3,000 up to KB and above, which added 5, so 75,000, Ogun 77.
I think the rest, state that pays 80,000. I don't know if it's Lagos State or something.
Yes, so the rest went from we have Lagos and Rivers hitting 85,000 naira. Okay. Then the Bayelsa, Akwa Ibom, Enugu, Niger up to Delta 77. These ones, the rest are paying 80,000 naira a pop. But we find it very, very funny that because this minimum wage discussion went on for so many months and was finally agreed upon about ending of July, and then I think it says that July 29th, it was signed into law by the presidency. Up till today, it's only the federal government that has started implementation. The rest are still doing paperwork. We have a state like Osun State saying that today, Monday, they want to meet with the committee and meet with organized labor. And are you still meeting and going to committees at this critical stage when fuel price is increasing practically on a weekly basis? As soon as it was agreed upon, leave the federal government to do the dots and
what
eyes.
state is that exactly?
Osun.
Okay.
Osun State. Then some other states
Because
too, like Benue is still in discussion.
We saw
discussion
some
up till
states
now.
came out to say that they are not, they can't pay even the 70,000. That they can't pay the 70,000 minimum wage.
16 states are saying
So that what was it they gave as an excuse?
the excuse is untenable.
But then they came out and said plainly that they can't afford to pay 70,000 naira minimum wage. So even if they pay, they might not be able to sustain it. So
If the thing you should ask, the citizens of such states should ask their governors, if you can't pay the new minimum wage, then why should you feel comfortable to collect the outflows from the fuel subsidy removal? Because fuel subsidy removal was removed from the hands of few, mega rich Nigerians and paid directly to states. So everything a state government was receiving prior to May 2023 is at any level increased astronomically. We have some states collecting as much as 20-something billion a month. How can you turn around and so if you're saying you cannot then increase the minimum wage, which was like 30, going from 30 to 70, let's take it at the basic minimum, everybody to pay. So if you can't pay, then why should you stretch out your hand and collect the fuel subsidy money that's coming in?
And the question
Use that one. That's my advice. Use that one to pay it.
The truth is, it's not like if the minimum wage is enough or something.
It's not.
When you look at the inflation rates, a bag of rice yesterday, a friend said she bought for 107,000.
And it's not yet Christmas.
And it's not yet Christmas. That is just bag of rice. Now you've not made you've not talked about transportation to work. You've not talked about light bill. You've not talked about health. You've not talked about
those ones are even too theoretical. Let's stay with food. So if the rice alone is 107,000 naira,
I don't go and put ingredients to buy.
Have you added a gallon of oil? Have you added your chicken or beef? Or have you added anything? Let's just add onion and oil. Those two will even cripple you. So, I mean, by the time you're at that level, the 70,000, of course, is not enough, but at least increase it.
Exactly.
Start by increasing it. Then do the other things that were promised. Because so far, like we said, there'll be a bus fare to take workers to work maybe certain days of the week and all the other things. Well, so far, what we see is this sharing of some cups of rice, which...
Give them rice.
This sharing of cups of rice.
You know, Sure said something on my health.
Everything they do.
He said,
every issue comes up.
Nigeria, everything that goes wrong in this country now is just give them rice. You complain of power, give them rice. You complain of road, give them rice. You complain of electricity, just give them rice. You complain of bad governance, give them rice. How long are you going to...
Mercy, have you received any of this rice they're giving?
Even the one that we are told that was subsidized, that is selling as a
40,000 naira bag.
40,000 naira for 50 kilo. If you have, I had a guest here, and the person was saying, but there is a link and there is a website where I said, are you a civil servant? He said yes. You have friends who are civil servants. Did you receive? He said no. Okay. Did you have friends who have come to you and said, oh, I received though? He said no.
I haven't met anybody that knows somebody that has met somebody that
not even in the dream
has received any bag that has been able to take out 40,000 naira.
Exactly.
And I went through the link and everything and bought the 40,000 naira.
It has never happened.
It hasn't happened. And you said you've actually met somebody who has bought it for 107,000 naira a bag. So we're looking at double the minimum wage already if you're just going to eat.
Exactly. If you're just going to
eat. You haven't gone to work.
You haven't talked about health. You haven't talked about light bills. You haven't talked about other maintenance and other
data.
It's just, I think it's
school fees for the children.
It's high time this government just have to understand that you're not going to keep giving people palliatives. We are not refugees, we are not beggars. Nigerians are just asking for the bare minimum, which is a government that works, a system that is conducive, and that's all. Nigerians are not lazy, so I don't want to. I totally do not agree with the former president who came out at the time and said Nigerian youth are not. There is no country that you can compare that of Nigerian youth with. Nigerian youth are very hardworking, but what they are asking for is a government that works. You know, a conducive environment that can enable them do or give out what they can give out. I'm not about giving them rice every time. Give them rice. You talk about this. Give them rice. You complain of water. Give them rice. Give them kilo day.
3 cups. We'll boil that to 3 cups per household in the lucky households. Please, you talked about the former administration, because this is a backlash of that is this strike now. Because those 4 months withheld salaries were withheld in the past administration. Okay. Till it went out, there was no news of that. Then the Tinubu administration came in and promised that money was going to be paid. So they've waited, and have even gone on a 1-week warning strike. Still nothing. Because even if they were paying it like on a monthly basis, you understand? So maybe October you get 2 months salary, December, I'm sure they would agree to something. But whereby it's like nothing. I mean, that has caused this strike situation, which is very, very dicey, because to push the youth out again at this period is really when they see their parents groaning to get to work, groaning to keep the household going. Then you now pay the fees, and then the universities will go on strike. I think it's a dangerous time. I would really want whoever is sworn in as the new minister for education to step up to the plate and address this strike action as his first point of call. Priority, in fact, yes, first priority, and put pressure on the federal government to make that a priority as well. We don't want to see these are the same youths that you're talking about, and then you push them out of school. Like you said, leaders of tomorrow, pushed out of negligence, because I would say you promised to pay it. You could even pay it instrumentally. Could work out a system of paying, but keeping them blank is zero.
An idle mind is a devil's workshop. And one thing I'm not sure the government is aware of is that the harder the economy, the more the crimes. Because people want to survive at all means. So
a hungry man is an angry man.
Exactly.
That's just the bottom line.
That's just it. I feel like when we want to talk about everything, want to talk about reforming this country, both from insecurity, it has to start with getting the youth engaged.
So we're getting the youth engaged. You have to start getting the youth educated. They have to start getting the youth empowered. We have to get the youth empowered. We have to get the youth involved in governance.
Exactly. Because if not, I bet we aren't going nowhere. Because tell me what if should this strike happen now, what you can imagine is someone who, and now it takes you, if it was supposed to take you 4 years to graduate, now it takes you up to 5 or 6 years to graduate.
Every strike add another year.
And now they've said, okay, what's that age limit for admission?
I doubt that will stand. Let's hope it does. I don't think it's going to stand.
18 years. So now, if you're being admitted by 18 at 18, and you maybe perhaps you get to encounter situations like this, you now have 20. To exactly. Maybe
you add 5 years.
5 years, and look, does it make any sense? I'm not sure.
And the person whom it's not making sense for will be getting angrier.
Of course.
And more dangerous to society.
Very dangerous.
So I think something needs to be done real fast.
Real fast, if you ask me. Well, what other headline do we move
what else? I'm taking those that caught my fancy. What struck
Please
you?
Keep taking those that caught your fancy. I think you have the papers there.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. RMAFC Fourth High Cost of Governance 6 better prudence. Sometimes it was last week that Mr. President said ministers' vehicles should be reduced to 3 at minimum and 5
security maximum. Yeah.
And I asked the question, and some persons will be like, why would you ask a question like that? I said, what happens to, it's not just about, when you talk of governance, that includes both the House of Representatives, the Senate, and the presidency. Okay, what happens to the Senate?
I answered the question. I told you they are untouchables. Untouchables. So cost of governance, the reduction there. Let's see. Let's hope. And in the first place, how are you going to monitor this use of the cars? Because, for instance, security personnel, that can come from headquarters.
Okay.
They can direct, this is a number as directed by the presidency. That can be monitored and that can be tackled. But how about the vehicles? Are you going to come over and check that, what is he talking about? I have to go with my 10-car convoy. How are you going to stop it? So, like someone was saying, the implementation is also key.
Exactly. You know, that's one thing. That's one problem we have in this country. We kept on making laws and laws and laws and laws without
not
any
implementing
implementation. There is no implementation. It's just laws upon laws and laws upon laws. Then ask of how many has been implemented. You see that out of thousands of laws, none has been implemented. And you kept wondering, okay, so what's the need of making these laws?
To make this like turning to newspaper
and according
headlines.
to our Christian faith, it is well, oh. It is well.
Please, there's a human interest story here. I think we might like the public to know because it's tucked in the page, right in page 24 of the Nigerian Tribune, but it's about an abandoned child. So I just want to mention the police station where the child is in case anybody would have come across this. The child is he's male and just 5 months old, so he can't talk, can't say anything. It was found in Shagamu, abandoned, and the person who found the child was referred to the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development there. So they said anyone who has any information should go to the nearest police station or Director of Social Welfare Services in the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development, Okemason, that's in Abeokuta in Ogun State. So we want to really thank the Good Samaritan who picked up the child. I think his name is mentioned here, Jetumobi Babajide. Thank you, sir. And if you have any useful information, please just go over to the nearest police station to you if you live in Abeokuta in Ogun State and help so that this child does not tarry long in the ministry's care. So,
I think, what is your take on this CNG drive? I don't know if I'm the only one who feel like, well, it's about now the conversion, because I was asking the DG of automobile development and Council of Nigeria. So I was asking the risk level, though according to him there is no risk involved, even if there is less than PMS. So now according to him it takes a minimum of 400,000 and a maximum of 1.1 million naira to do the conversion. And now, according to him, he said that the conversion would be, it is always safer and better to go to government agencies where the conversion can be carried out properly instead of going to all this weather or side whatever. You know,
roadside mechanics.
Yes, and you know that was what led to the explosion of the truck. Is it trucks, the one that happened in Edo recently?
Yes.
So,
I remember.
What's your confidence? Are you confident about it? Do you have ginger about this?
I'm a little queasy about the availability.
Okay.
Because I don't want to see a situation whereby you confidently go to the government agencies, pay, do the conversion, and then you are stranded because you'll be jonesed. So now you have you have all the facility, then you don't have the availability of the product. So I want some measure of assurance that, there's not going to be any problem when you, at least these are the reasons why. Not just saying, just like we saw, the minister saying, we're confident about an economic growth. What is fueling this confidence? So it's the same way. If you feel that is the way to go, let us reassure us that these measures have been put in place to ensure that these products are going to be available. Let me just refer to that. Let's see. So under that 134 trillion naira debt, it says here, CBN commits to doubling the volume of capital inflows. What have you done to double it? It even says here they're committing to doubling diaspora remittances. So are you going to sit in the office of CBN and phone to Nigerians in America and say, okay, you're related to Mercy, please don't forget to send her some $500, eh? Phone the next, what are you going to do to get it? You understand? So for you to say you're committed to doubling it, okay, that's a commitment within your heart. What are the strategies? What are the policies? What are the, tangible, what are the tangibles that we can lay our hands on to show that these and these and these are the efforts, the measures that are going to be taken to ensure that there is a doubling of that volume? Because if we can have more capital inflows, of course we won't have to continue with our doubling up to borrow. What we need is more money, but we don't want to get that more money from borrowing. So these capital inflows are very badly, desirable. But what measures are you taking to do it? Not by committing to it in the newspaper. That is too vague. It's too hollow. It's not something I can hold you down and pin you down to. So that by December, I can say, oh, confidently, this money has come in. The first place, are the refineries fixed?
I don't know working. So
they're not working. So where are you getting the capital inflow from?
I was going to ask that.
Is
so
agriculture being exported?
We know that
do we send yam or beans or anything to other countries?
The biggest form of revenue we have is a refinery, and not all the refineries are working. So where are we going to get this money?
We are still a mono economy.
Miracle money. Who knows?
Miracle money.
God cannot do, does not exist.
Oh please! This bringing God, Jesus, Allah into everything we're doing is now putting us more into this. Let's sit down and do our economic policies on paper. These are the steps, not promises that we cannot hold you down to. Because a commitment where I'm committed to you because I'm going to do this. That's my take.
Well, we just hope and just see, keep our fingers crossed and see how it goes. So let's take a few more headlines before we wrap it up on the morning show today. And
just before we after the headline, don't forget we're going to talk about this trending issue with President Tinubu on social media, the T-Pain.
Okay, this is I think you commented this. It's a NIWA to phase out wooden boats on island waterways. This is according to MD. So
please, let me correct myself quickly.
All right.
It's National Inland Waterways Authority. Okay.
So what's your view on this?
Yeah, perfect. In fact, there's somewhere even further, if you read down, pick a copy of the newspapers that have that headline, like The Nation and I think so many others. The Guardian has it. You'll see that they say 90%, whopping 90% of boats available are these wooden boats. Wooden boats, not properly sealed, so water is seeping in. And they're just feeling that, this is very small water, let's just carry the passengers across.
Okay.
But like they said, it's just a little drop is enough to sink a gigantic vessel. So I think the phasing out is timely, it's laudable, it's a very, very good idea, and they should quickly be replaced and not keeping people stranded. Don't phase it out and leave people standing by.
What's the alternative?
Yes,
because just like
the alternatives, like I said,
the president came and said subsidy is gone without any without an alternative, and at the point Nigerians were stranded, and that's what has brought us to where we are today, buying PMS at about 1,300, and in some places more than 1,300. I feel like it is quite a commendable one, but what's the alternative plan for this? Because
and the alternatives have to be in place as soon as those are phased out.
Exactly,
because the suffering that people are suffering will now even increase rather than decrease.
That's it. I think the alternative should be ready before it is phased out entirely, so we don't get to experience this. How stranded we are now with fuel.
No, because nobody will be able to swim from island to mainland just to get to work. And I think a lot of sensitization programs need to be put in place to discourage people who are very interested in wooden boat making, or if at all you're going to make a wooden boat, it has to be done more technically and not this local production which is archaic and outdated.
Okay, well, I think we gradually coming to the end of the morning show, but before then, let's see. There's a trend on the social media space. It says President Tinubu is not T-Pain. Nigerians, He feels Nigerians paid presidential head Bayo Ononuga. That's what has been trending on the social media space. You know, I told you earlier that Nigerians made. Have you seen it? Or am I the only one who's seen it? I say, Uncle it's paid. And wrote below is for weight
loss.
What loss? And what other
Pains from trekking. There's a caller actually on the line. Eh? Let's see.
All right.
Hello, caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Glad to have you join us on the show. Your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is Mazi Okoro from Arotipo in Ajo State. Good morning, my sister.
Oh, morning. All the way from Abia.
Glad to have you.
Not the person of the local government.
All right.
Honestly speaking, the situation of life, energy, is nothing to write to my part. I'm just trying to find out for against all these issues with this president.
Okay.
What is the problem? And we are seeing on the social media that when they are going to repair the right, that bandits or witnesses did not allow this. I start asking myself. So bandits themselves, they are also part and parcel of Nigerian problem in terms of repairing life the way millions upon millions of Nigerians will enjoy. Now you ask yourself, what is the job of this bandit? Is it to sit down and get no problem? I think they see for the federal government, they take the action the way it's believed. I think someone is there to Iran over the weekend. 200 or something different. Can't they go in the Nigerian army, carry Nigerian Air Force? Enter that very swamp, that very wrong, where those bandits are at. At least level that place, so that we have. I can't imagine a country with that. Now, do you know that so many people are facing a very hard time to make sure that in the week, everybody should prepare small soup and manage it. But now, what happened? If they are that in people must the cook today, finish today, right? How would you save money? How would you do? Looking at the economy that is there. And even this issue of the petrol and gas, I don't know what is happening there. We don't even know the actual price of petrol. Whether it is 1,400 or 1,200. Even the gas, I went to ask for gas now. They said 1,400, so they said 1,500. What do we need to firewood? I can't even get firewood. You start talking about charcoal. Charcoal, my sister, will get now 200 naira charcoal. Cannot boil water for you. Now, enable you bath well and clean your body. That's 200 naira charcoal. Honestly speaking, government should do the needful now or never. People are dying. People are dying. Good morning, Mazu come from out.
Good morning, Mazu Krafo. Thank you for calling in and have yourself a wonderful day ahead.
Oh my goodness. No, you know the part that pains me in all this is that Nigeria is sitting on, if not Africa, if not, let me not just say up to the Middle East, but at least for Africa, we're sitting on a reckonable huge gas reserve. And we're the ones crying to buy gas. And then to crown it all, Nigeria is busy flaring gas. I mean, why should this be? Gas should be something that we should just, at a pop, that should be available and cheaply. Why are we having these problems?
Well, it is what it is, but God will help us. Well, this is where we'll bring...
God will help us again.
God will help us.
Hasn't God done enough by providing the gas, providing the fuel, providing the raw crude?
What would you rather have me say?
I feel you, my sister.
This is all we're the cutting for today's show. Thank you for being with us and sticking around with us. Also, we'll come your way some other time. Keep watching KAFTAN Television. I am Macy Emelite.
And I'm Ekaette. Thank you for joining us.
Have yourself a wonderful week ahead. Bye.